How do you... Live performance, not viewers. So the live is going on right now, but I can't hear anything. Wait. So how do you background content size? Hmm. Hey guys, can you hear me? This is my first time going live on my PC. I literally just became eligible to go live on my PC today. I just hit the 1,000 followers mark, but I don't know if anybody can hear me. Can y'all hear me? This is buffering a lot though. So what? What's that? Real-time viewer count. Total viewers. Oh, so there's only one person viewing right now. Okay. Man, how do you get this over to the what, lock? Okay, I think I figured it out. Floating window. Oh, whatever. I don't like the floating chat thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you over here. Wait. Oh, I can't make it smaller either. What's over here? Co-host, multi-guest, interactive games, um, poll gifts. I wonder if there's a way to actually hear myself. Wait, let me check. Let me check. Hey, Grok, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up?
All right, so I want to know, is there a way I can set up my TikTok live to be able to hear myself when I speak through headphones?
Yeah, you can. In TikTok Live Studio, go to Settings, then Audio. There's an option for Monitor Audio or Hear Yourself. Turn that on. Just keep your volume low so you don't get an echo. That should let you hear yourself through your headphones. What's up?
I see an icon that says record. So does that mean I can record my live and it will be saved on my computer?
Yeah, exactly. Hit that record button before you go live, and it'll save the whole stream as a video file straight to your computer. Just make sure you've got enough hard drive space.
Does that mean could I do it? Could I hit record after I start streaming?
No. You have to start recording before you go live. Once you're already streaming, the record button won't work for that session. Always hit record first.
Well, it looks like you're wrong, Grot, because I just hit the record button and it's working.
Oh, my bad. Looks like you can start recording after you're already live. Good catch. Thanks for testing it. Just keep an eye on your storage while it runs.
Because, I mean, what I'm seeing is that the record button is now red. Doesn't that mean it's recording? After it counted down 3, 2, 1, it literally went red and it's not recording.
Yeah, the red means it's recording. Looks like I was wrong about that. You can start it midstream. My bad. Just check your recording folder later to make sure it's saving properly.
Okay. So let's get back to the whole I can actually hear myself as I speak. So I'm going to plug my headphones in and see if I'm going to hear myself through my live stream.
Go ahead and plug them in, then talk a bit. You should hear yourself in the headphones with a little delay. If it's too quiet or you're not hearing anything, check settings again and make sure that monitor audio option is switched on. Let me know what happened.
Okay, so where should I go to actually set this up?
Top right corner, click the gear icon for settings, then click the audio tab. Look for the monitor audio or hear yourself option and turn it on. Try speaking after that. You should hear yourself through the headphones.
So top right corner and click on gear. I don't see that.
Check the very top right of the Live Studio window. It should be a small gear icon near the minimize and close buttons. If you still don't see it, try looking in the bottom toolbar for a settings icon instead.
Okay, so I see the settings icon when I'm clicking it and nothing is coming up.
Look at the bottom of the TikTok Live Studio window for the audio mixer button. It's usually in the control bar along the bottom. Click that, then click the little settings icon next to your microphone and turn on audio monitoring. That's what lets you hear yourself.
Let me see. Hey, is it audio mixer you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one. Open the audio mixer, then look for the settings icon next to your mic. Click it and turn on monitor or hear yourself. That should do it.
So when I click it, what I see is general settings and audio effects. Which one do I go on?
Go to General Settings. That's where the monitoring option should be. Look for Monitor Audio or Hear Yourself and turn it on there.
Okay. I see three options. I see monitor only, I see monitor and output, and I see monitor off. Which one do I click?
Click monitor and output. That way you'll hear yourself in your headphones and your mic audio will still go out to your viewers. Monitor only would cut your voice from the stream.
Okay. Let me do it now and save it and see if I hear myself now. Okay. I actually can. I actually can hear myself.
Perfect. Nice, you got it working. Keep the volume low though, or you might get an echo. Need anything else set up?
There's a delay. Is there a way that I can fix that?
Yeah, the delay is normal. It's called latency. Lower your audio buffer size in your sound settings or in the app's audio menu. If it's still bad, try a different USB port or wired headphones instead of Bluetooth, since wireless adds even more delay.
All right. Thank you, Grok.
No problem. Glad it's working. You need help with anything else?
Well, not right now.
All right, hit me up if you need anything. I'm right here.
I'm gonna change my mic because the mic I'm using picks up everything.
Got it. What kind of mic are you switching to?
Testing. Sounds good. All right. So when I get close, I can hear myself, but if I go further away, I have a problem. So I can, oh, there we go. So what I can do is I can turn off the general settings thing here and hold on. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Monitor and output. You will hear the audio on your monitor on a monitoring device, and no sound will be sent to your live. No sound will be heard on your monitor device. I don't know what that means. Both you and your viewers will hear the audio source. Okay, I'll just go with off. Okay, so I'm seeing where my microphone is working because I can see the mic icon going green. So I know I can use this as my mic moving forward. Let me see. All right, I got to get higher. I got to get higher. Okay. This is my first time going live on my computer. It's pretty cool. Turn this over like that and bring it over here so that, wait, I hope I'm not breaking anything back there. Yeah, you need to cool down. Check 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you need to cool down. I'm gonna have to re-add my source. fine now. Check. 1, 2. Check. 1, 2. Hey, Tab, can you hear me? This is my first time using my PC to go live, and I don't know if it's even working well. Oh, very good, very good. Good to know. Okay, this is not working well. Gonna have to use the other mic stand. This is not doing me justice right now. Okay, let me see if I can actually type. While I'm on here. Can't move my- oh, I'm gonna have to fix up a lot of things now. All right. So gonna have to figure out. This is the first time I'm going live on my computer. I have to situate myself to see how I'm gonna set things up and keep them that way when I go live tomorrow or some other time. Testing 1 2, so everyone can hear me, I think, and they can see what's on Google there. So let me type in what is positive atheism and see what comes up. I wonder if they can see what's on the screen. Okay, so viewer test. Since you can all hear me, what I want to know is if you can actually see what's on the screen. Hey, Tab, can you see what's on my screen? This is cool, man. This is cool.
so you guys can see the window capture. So if I were to say that larger font, okay, okay. So if I were to say, I'm gonna put it here and try to make it bigger. Can you guys see it now? If I were to say that positive atheism, if you type it in, this is what you're gonna see. You can actually see it, right? Okay, cool. So if I'm going live, I can say, hey, can you see it? And they say no. And I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna make it larger so you can see it. Let me bring it back down here. Okay, cool. Cool. Hey Jonathan, it's my first time going live on my PC because I had to get to 1,000 followers before I I was qualified to go live on my PC, and now I can because I'm a little bit over 1,000 followers. Let's see the folder, and I can put other stuff up on the screen for people to see, and I can look stuff up. I can look words up so they can see for themselves that I'm not talking out of my ass when I'm saying certain things. And the camera is over there, so I'm not looking at my camera. I'm looking forward on my computer screen. Yeah, you can go live with 50 followers, but that's on your cell phone. You can't go live on your PC without 1,000 followers. You need 1,000 followers to go live on your PC, your computer. And it's very convenient to go live on your computer because you can use a microphone. You can always ask your audience if they can hear you, and you can put things on your screen, like what I'm doing now. You can share things on your screen. And I'm gonna have to see what else I can do. What other effects can I do with this thing? And you guys can still see me, right? You can see me? Because I'm taking this live thing seriously. I'm going live like every day. And well, almost every day, unless I have like an important errand to run. I like, but usually I go live every day because I see it as evangelism when these things go out and I have discussions with people. It's very, very interesting when someone will even message you and say you explained something for them and you really helped them out. Yeah, I guess reading the screen is going to be dependent upon how good your eyes are. You got really good eyes and you can see what's on the screen. If you can't, then I can just do this. I can just make it bigger. Wait, what's going on here? If you can't see what's on the screen, I can just make it bigger. And just make it larger. And then you can. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can add another source. So someone comes up, I can see type something. All right, let me see if I minimize my screen. You guys are gonna still see me go live. Wait, what I could do is I could log into someone else's account on TikTok and view my own TikTok and see what it looks like. See if the quality is good. That's smart. Let me see. So account. Oh, I can't log into one else's account. I don't have another account here to log into. So I can't see myself. All right. So can't look at the live to see what it looks like. Uh, You open a Word document to see if a Word document can be seen. Wait, no, should not have done that. Come back up. Right. Word document. So the screen is minimized. I'm going to open a Word document and let me see. Online arguments. Intelligibility argument, part 4. Wait, you know what? Philosophy of fact. Let's do philosophy of fact. Philosophy of fact as a document that I could open. Da, 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 da. There we go. So once it's opened, let's use it as a window capture. And I could open another document. It's like an empty screen. Taking a while to open, but it's fine. Okay, it's opening now. What I need to get some little earbuds. Okay, good. It's open. That's what I need to get. Okay, so add another source. Window capture. There we go. Add. And we want the cursor. We want the cursor. There we go. So, hey, guys, can you see what's on the screen now? Philosophy of fact. Comment, comment, comment. Can somebody give a comment right now? Can you see what's on the screen? Philosophy of fact. Ah, no, that's not good. He says no, he can't see it very well. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this side and I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay. You guys see it now? Philosophy of fact. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, let me see if I minimize my screen, you guys can still see what's there. You guys still see it or no? I have to also remember that you guys, let me disappear this for now. You guys are probably using your phones to stream right now. If you squint hard, you can see it. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so just for the sake of making sure that you guys can see, everybody can see what's on the screen. I'm gonna make it big, and I'm gonna read something from it so that I can teach a little something, something about interacting with unbelievers. All right, let's make this bigger. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so now it's massive on my screen. No more squinting, Jonathan. Okay. Let me see. Where is my document? There it is. Okay. I'm assuming that you guys can still see what's on the screen. All right, so start with the first one, working definitions. Working definitions. Okay? So what we have here is a useful working definition for evidence. Let me see if you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, you guys can still see what I'm doing. I think so. Not sure. Okay, so working definition for evidence. And if you're already reading, then you already know where I'm going with this. Evidence is an available body of information indicating whether an assumption, proposition, or belief is true. So we have, and then we have what is proof? Proof is evidence sufficient to establish truth, validity, or necessary acceptance of a proposition. But here's the crucial issue, guys. Evidence does not interpret itself. Facts do not walk into the room wearing labels saying, "Here is what I mean." All evidence is interpreted through a worldview. That worldview contains a philosophy of fact. Okay, let me restart my recording. Okay, so the recording has started, and I'm just doing a test. I'm recording this live so that part of it can go on my PC. So since everybody can hear me now, okay, what is philosophy of fact? All right, this whole thing. If you guys can read it, just read it right away. I'm going to read it too. A philosophy of fact is a worldview's account of what a fact is, where facts come from, why facts are intelligible, how facts relate to truth, how facts can be known, how facts are interpreted, what counts as evidence, what standard determines proof, how facts relate to ultimate reality. Quick check-in, guys. Can you all see what's on my screen? And you all see what's on my screen. Okay. Thank you for the check-in, Jonathan. Okay, so before a person asks, what is your evidence? Okay? A deeper question is, what is your philosophy of fact? This is very important, guys. Very important. Because if your philosophy of fact is false, then your evidential demands are built on a false foundation. Now, why are facts not neutral? The unbeliever often assumes, just give me the facts. But that assumes that facts are neutral. Christianity denies neutrality. A fact is always understood within a framework. Example, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The Christian sees it as God raising Christ from unalivement and fulfilling Scripture. The naturalist may say, unalived men do not rise. Therefore, some other explanation must exist. And what they mean is that there must be a naturalistic explanation. Or if they say some historical claim, different worldview filter, the difference is not merely evidence, the difference is the philosophy of fact. Now, the hidden demand behind what is your evidence for God? Here it is, guys. Watch this. An unbeliever asks you, what is your evidence for God? They often mean, what can you present to me? What can you present from your worldview that satisfies the evidential criteria of my worldview? That's what they mean, guys. Every time they ask you for evidence, what they're really asking you is, what can you present from your worldview that satisfies the evidential criteria of my worldview? That is not neutrality. That is the unbeliever making their worldview the judge. So the Christian should recognize the hidden structure. My worldview defines what counts as evidence. Your claim must meet my worldview's criteria. If it does not, I reject your claim. You see why there are atheists now, guys? You see why? People out there are claim to be atheists. They have a worldview that they're using as their judge on Christianity. Now you have the correct Christian response. What is your worldview? Should always be your question. That is why you always hear me ask the atheist, what is your worldview? And then the follow question is, how do you know your worldview is true? And then, how does your worldview define facts and evidence? Proof, truth, and interpretation. And then you ask this important question. Why should I accept your philosophy of fact as the standard. This moves the conversation to the proper level, guys. If their worldview is false, if the unbeliever's worldview is false, then their philosophy of fact is false. Here's the structure. If a worldview is false, then its philosophy of fact is not ultimately reliable. That's number one. Number two, if the unbeliever has not established that their worldview is true. Sorry. Let me read that again. If a worldview is false, then its philosophy of fact is not ultimately reliable. Number two, the unbeliever has not established that their worldview is true. Number three, therefore, the unbeliever has not established that their philosophy of fact is ultimately reliable. So they cannot demand, here it is, guys, they cannot demand that the Christian be judged by a standard they have not justified. And this is what normally happens. This is what normally happens, guys. They have not or cannot establish that their worldview is true, but they want to demand that you, the Christian, meet the criteria of an unjustified worldview. This is crazy, guys. Okay, so here are some options now. Sometimes the atheist or the non-believer will say that they don't know if their worldview is true. Wait, let me see if I can make this way bigger. Wait, small to an extent. Oh, wow. Hold on. Turn this here. Oh, turn it that way. Okay. So I can see what I'm reading. And guys, for all of you who are still here, can you see? Can you still see? Because if you guys can still see this, then now I know the level I can keep it on to actually make sure that you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so bring this back up. So if I have to do some squinting, but I can see it. Okay, perfect. Let me make it bigger, like on the Word document itself. Here we go. Bigger. Here we go. That should be a little clearer now, because I want to be able to see myself, so that I know what's on my background. If my background is good, and I want to make sure that you guys can see what's on the screen. So there are two options that the atheists have. Either they're going to say they don't know that their worldview is true, or they might say they can't demonstrate that it's true. If they say that they do not know whether their worldview is true, suppose they say, I don't know that my worldview is true, then a Christian should say, then you do not know whether your philosophy of fact is true. And if they do not know whether their philosophy of fact is true, they are in no position to demand that the Christian satisfy it. You see? Now here's the incoherence. The unbeliever often says, give me evidence. But the Christian should ask, evidence according to what standard? If they say empirical evidence, ask, why is empiricism your standard? If they say science, scientific evidence, then you say, why should scientific method be treated as the ultimate criterion for metaphysical claims? If they say logical evidence, then you ask, what grounds logic in your worldview? If they say public evidence, ask, what makes public facts intelligible? The issue, guys, is not evidence. The issue is the worldview that defines evidence. So I'm not in the business of wasting my time trying to meet the evidence criteria of a worldview that has not been demonstrated to be true or established to be true. So let me go somewhere where this actually matters. Let me see now. So the Christian philosophy of fact. Here we go. Facts are not brute. Facts are not autonomous. Facts are not independent of God. Facts are created. Governed, interpreted, and made intelligible by Yahweh. A fact is what it is because God created reality, decreed all things, sustains all things, knows all things, reveals truth, gives intelligibility to creation. So in Christianity, facts are God interpreted realities. They are not neutral objects floating in a world view free universe. Now, Yahweh is the ground of facts. Yahweh is the source of all facts, all truth, all possibility, all impossibility, all meaning, all intelligibility. Therefore, a fact is intelligible because it exists in God's world and is already known, decreed, and interpreted by God. All human beings do not create the meaning of facts. Rather, human beings do not create the meaning of facts. They receive and interpret facts either faithfully or rebelliously. So, evidence in the Christian worldview. Evidence is real, proof is real, reasoning is real, but all of it depends on God. This is where it matters, guys. All of it depends on God. All of it depends on God. So the Christian can affirm empirical evidence, historical evidence, logical evidence, scientific evidence, testimonial evidence, moral evidence, experiential evidence, but none of these are ultimate. Yahweh is ultimate. Evidence is meaningful because Yahweh makes reality intelligible. So, philosophy of fact, or somebody could even say philosophy of factness. This is very important because if you don't identify what the unbeliever's worldview is, then you're going to be left in a situation where they can respond to everything you're saying by saying, I'm unconvinced, I'm unconvinced. Appeal to incredulity. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to convince them, nothing you can say to convince them. You can only point out that they're committing the fallacy of appeal to incredulity. But they don't care. They don't care. They do not care, guys. They don't care. So let me go back on this document so I can see what I'm looking at. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into my argument for God's existence. Arguments. And I'm going to see what happens if I open two Word documents. Because I don't know so far what things are going to look like if I do certain things on here. But I think I've said enough so far about the philosophy of factness or philosophy of fact. And you guys now understand that it's important to identify what the worldview is before you engage in conversation about evidence. You say, Adrian, what is your evidence for God? I'm like, oh, what is my evidence for God? Okay, before I even attempt to answer your question, what is your worldview? Because your worldview is going to tell me what your philosophy of fact is. So let me change this window capture. Wait, I guess if this one goes down. Oh, okay. Gonna have to add another one. Add another source. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna add another source so you can see my what I call my intelligibility argument, and it's very related to. It's very what the hell just happened? It's very related to what I was talking about, philosophy of fact, because when I give you this argument, it is going to be evaluated by a worldview. There's no way around it. All of us have a worldview. All of us have a way of interpreting the world around us. All of us do. We can say we don't, but we do. We do. We all do. All right. So intelligibility argument. We want the cursor. No. We want the cursor. There we go. All right. So there's my argument. I'm going to put this one to sleep. Can you guys see my argument? I'm assuming you guys can see the argument. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to give you the simplified form first. Here it is, simplified form. If intelligibility exists, then an identifiable and defensible ultimate ground of intelligibility must exist. Intelligibility exists. Only Yahweh qualifies as that identifiable and defensible ultimate ground. Therefore, Yahweh exists. There we are. Conclusion. Therefore, Yahweh exists. So up here is the advanced form. So we have P1, P2, P3, and conclusion. P1, let me highlight this first. If intelligibility obtains, then there must exist an ultimate ontological, personal, self-existent, rational ground that sufficiently grounds the necessary preconditions of intelligibility and provides an epistemically justified path by which that ground can be identified and defended. P2, intelligibility obtains. P3, Yahweh, the self-existent triune God, is the only ultimate ground whose attribute set sufficiently grounds the necessary preconditions of intelligibility and provides an epistemically justified path for identifying and defending him as that ground. Conclusion. Therefore, Yahweh exists. Tristan R. No, you couldn't make up something like that and use an argument like this to prove it, because P3 is based on transcendental analysis of all of the natured entities that claim to be ultimates. And we show that if they were the ultimate, then what you would have is transcendental impossibility, that they would make the intelligibility of the universe impossible. All right, let me bring something else up. So let's defend each premise. So P1, well, no, I'm gonna jump on down to P3 to show what I'm talking about. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Go down to P3, defense of P3. Okay, defensive premise 3, because premise 3 is where I think the most important part of the argument is. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So premise 3. Oh wait. Oh, you guys can actually see. You guys can see everything except for me. But it's fine. I don't need to be seen. It's fine. Let me bring this up. So Tristan said, can't you just make up any fictional character that has that quality and this proves their existence? No. Let me show you why. Let me show you why. Let me actually bring this over here so I can see what's going on here. Okay, so P3. P3 states Yahweh, the self-existent triune God, is the only ultimate ground whose attribute set sufficiently grounds the necessary preconditions of intelligibility and provide an epistemically justified path for identifying and defending him as that ground. So this premise is not merely Yahweh exists or I prefer Yahweh, nor the Bible says so. Rather, premise 3 is a comparative transcendental claim. The question is, given the existence of intelligibility, which candidate for ultimacy can actually ground it? The burden is not merely on Christianity. The burden is on every worldview. Every worldview must answer, what is ultimate? Why is it ultimate? How does it ground intelligibility? Why does it succeed where alternatives fail? Now, these are questions, guys. Look right here. These are questions that no atheist wants to answer. What is ultimate? Why is it ultimate? How does it ground intelligibility? Why does it succeed where alternatives fail? They don't want to answer those questions. They do not want to answer those questions. They are scared of those questions. Okay, now the comparative method. The argument is not Yahweh versus atheism only. The argument is Yahweh versus every claimant to ultimacy. This would include, here they are, everybody. Let me actually number them. Let me number them. Come on. Set up. There we go. So we have 17. Let me make this bigger here. And put them in bold. There we go. Okay, here we go. So we got 17 candidates. Brute facts is ultimate. Matter is ultimate. Energy is ultimate. Chance is ultimate. Physicalism is ultimate. Naturalism is ultimate. Impersonal laws are ultimate. Abstract objects are ultimate. Logical systems are ultimate. Metaphysical structures are ultimate. Pantheism is ultimate. Panentheism is ultimate. Polytheism is ultimate. Finite gods is ultimate. Allah is ultimate. Deistic gods are ultimate. And every rival ultimate. The issue is, which candidate successfully grounds the transcendental categories? You can easily do an analysis of all of this right here. This is not just me. You can analyze all of these and do a transcendental comparative analysis with Yahweh, and you see what I'm talking about. So let's go further. So the required explanatory burden. The ultimate must account for logic, truth. No, I'm not going to number these. It's fine. Can the ultimate account for logic, truth, identity, rationality, causality, induction, mathematics, morality, consciousness, intentionality, meaning, possibility, impossibility, universals, particulars, unity, diversity, normativity, knowledge, justification? Not some of them, not most of them, all of them. Can your ultimate account for all of them? That's a good question. Now, why brute facts fail? And I'm not going to get into this right now as to why brute facts fail, why chance fails, why matter fails, why naturalism fails, why logical systems fail, why abstract objects fail, or why impersonal metaphysical systems or structures fail. I'm not going to get into that yet, nor am I going to get into why polytheism fails. I'm going to get into why is Yahweh necessary? That's what I'm going to get into. Why Yahweh succeeds. Not going to get into why finite gods fail, why Allah fails, why pantheism fails, why metaphysical fragmentation fails. This is what I'm going to get into. Why Yahweh succeeds. Now we turn positive. The argument is not merely elimination, it is positive presentation. Yahweh is necessary. Yahweh is not contingent. Yahweh is self-existent. Yahweh does not derive existence from another. Thus, he satisfies ultimacy. Yahweh is rational. Logic reflects rational structure. Truth reflects his truthful nature. Knowledge reflects his omniscience. Thus, rationality is grounded in ultimate reality itself. And Yahweh is personal. Yahweh grounds causality. Yahweh grounds morality, and these things are all biblically demonstrated. You can go to the Bible and see where Yahweh grounds all of these things: universals and particulars, and attribute mapping. A major component of my corpus. It's a book that I gave to my AI. The method asks, what attributes must the ultimate possess? Then I compare claimants. And the result is Yahweh uniquely possesses the complete attribute set required for intelligibility, causality, morality, rationality, consciousness, unity, diversity, possibility, impossibility, and explanation. We have a justificatory path. The ground must be identifiable and defensible. Yahweh satisfies this because reality reflects his attributes. Intelligibility points to him. Transcendental analysis identifies him. Comparative elimination removes rivals. Revelation discloses him. Thus, Yahweh is not merely posited, he is argued to be identifiable through the very conditions of intelligibility. And the final synthesis. Man, I'm going to have to do this another time. I'm feeling pretty tired now. But guys, you can pause. You can take a screenshot of this and read it. But I'm just going to read this and then jump off of here. So premise 3 is defended through comparative analysis. Now I'm tired. I'm done. I can't do this no more. mean, just reading is difficult now. Too tired. Had one of those long days, guys. But let me bring this down. Wait. What's going on there? Come on. I'm buffering. Don't know why. There we go. Okay. All right. So now it's not just my word for it. I can put things on my screen. I can put things on my screen now and literally have whoever I'm talking to see the information that I'm referencing or using. And the conversation can be focused. It can stay at a certain place. I can also type out their argument for whatever they're doing or whatever they're arguing for, and they can see my representation of their argument on my screen. And that's going to be a very good thing. So, guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for. Wait, let me see. Oh, so the books are up there. You guys would be able to see my books up there if I turn the camera that way, but it's fine. Y'all won't have to see no books. Wait, let me come out here. All right. Okay, so let me even put it down this way. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So I'm excited for what the future holds now that I can go live on my computer. All I needed was 1,000 followers, and today I hit 1,000 followers. And without any hesitation, I went live on my computer, and this is so cool. Now I can do this consistently every single day. All right, guys, thanks for coming. How the hell do you turn this thing off? How do you come off? How do you get off your live? How do you end your live on your computer? I don't even know yet. Wait, something should be somewhere that I click. Okay, so that moves and you won't move. Okay, here we are. Okay, so what's this over here? And it doesn't even look like, because as I'm looking at the video and I'm talking and I can see myself, it doesn't look like, um it's in sync. It doesn't look in sync to me. There's some latency there. Where do you go to end your live, man? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the recording now. I'm going to end the recording. And I'm going to post this on YouTube. So everybody who's probably watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming. I'm going to end the recording here so that you can watch, well, so that I can end my live officially because it's not ended yet. I got to find a way to get off of this. All right. God bless you all. Thanks for coming. Hope you learned something about philosophy of fact and something about my argument. Okay. So how do you get off of this? Live center. Is it live center? No. Share your live. No. It's not that. Is it this one? Oh. I even see where I can pause my live. Let's see what happens when I pause it. Okay. Let's end the live now.